就好。Wangle, wangle. Wangity wangle. Oh, no, I just realized. Whenever I plug in a headset, it doesn't count the sound. Those are not the properties I want.
Wield a pitchfork or carry sacks? That's against God and nature.
I understand. I'm in your service, so I'll carry all the sacks. Even your share.
Thank you, Henry. And don't worry, I'll pay you back for your hard work.
I'm on it.
Thanks again for accepting it with humility. And fear not, friend, I'll repay the favor.
How? By giving me a large estate?
That too, of course. Maybe 2 estates. But above all, once we're out of the worst, I'll help you find your dog. As soon as we have at least some gear, we'll head into the forest and find Mutt in a trice. Although, if you think about the 3 states of man, looking for lost dogs is more like a huntsman's work. But let's pay no mind to that.
That would be kind of you.
I knew you'd be pleased.
Davon hätte ich gern noch mehr, bitte.
Butcher? Say, right.
What's the hold up?
There'd have to be 2 of us. I couldn't manage a pig that size on my
Where's
own.
that beer?
She's strong.
Greetings to you.
Likewise, lad.
I haven't seen you here before. Where are you from?
Well, I'm not from around here. I'm just an ordinary tradesman who minds his own business.
An ordinary tradesman, you say?
I find that hard to believe. Me and Crazel have had our eye on you for a while now.
You look like beggars, but you talk like learned fellows. You two are an odd pair, all right.
Do me a favor. It's obvious they're two hard-up students, or apprentices. What do they call you, lad?
I'm Henry.
So, Henry, what was it you were after?
Since you've joined us.
I heard there's going to be a big wedding in these parts. What do you know about it?
That's right. A big affair in Sameen.
Everyone wants to go.
And anyone who's not invited is trying to worm their way in somehow. Not me, though. I couldn't give a toss.
Because you weren't invited, eh?
Of course I was invited. But what do I care about young Sameen and the bailiff's lass? We're all just playthings in God's hands. One day, our earthly bonds will vanish in time, like smoke.
Trying to sound clever again, are you, Crazel?
All I'm saying is that these petty affairs of men leave me cold.
Sod that. It's gonna be big. Even Lord von Burgo himself is gonna be at the wedding. And he hardly ever shows his face in public.
Would it be possible to get to von Burgov, even though he keeps his distance from people?
I don't know. He's either locked away in his castle or traveling somewhere. And he's powerful and important. So the only chance of meeting him is at the wedding. At least for us who are invited.
And everybody will want something from him. He'll be dancing for joy, I can tell you.
Could someone get to the wedding without an invitation?
Someone? You mean? Forget it, looking like that.
Well, I think it might be possible, using certain methods. Play of light and shadow, a cloak as black as night.
What are you going on about? More Miller's witchery?
All right. I won't say another word.
Semin's bound to keep a damn close eye on his big day, so you won't get in without an invitation.
So, how can I get to the wedding?
The best thing would be to find a job that'll be needed there.
Aye. There's always lots of hands needed at a wedding. As the hours pass and the guests raise their goblets, they'll lower their guard.
I'm looking for work.
And what can you do?
I can do a lot of things. But mainly, I'm a blacksmith.
Bugger me. A blacksmith, you say? That makes two of us. And my apprentices have just vanished along with my goods, the bastards, when I'm swamped with work. If you're not talking shit and you can wield a hammer, we'll shake on it. And if you prove your worth, I'll even take you to that wedding.
Why would you work at a forge? Come and work for me at the mill. It's a cleaner job, and easier. And I can get you to that wedding, too.
Leave it out, you rogue. I asked him first.
Interesting offers. I'll have a think about it.
Don't leave it too fucking long, or it might be too late.
If you're after more than just brute force and fire, you'll find me in Lower Sameen.
And me in Takov.
I haven't been here before, and I'd like to learn something about this region.
What's there to say? It's not a bad place to live.
It's usually peaceful, thank God. I don't like too much excitement.
You've got good reason to hide, I reckon.
That's enough of your mudslinging. It's actually good to live in an estate where the Lord's away most of the time.
That's true. Just a couple of villages, rocks, fields, not even a church worth the name, in fact. That's despite Otto van Burgo being one of the kingdom's most powerful nobles. The darkest place is under the candlestick, as they say.
When his lordship isn't in these parts, his chamberlain stands in for him. Ulrich von Schomburg's his name.
I saw him on the gate tower, when he sent us packing like beggars.
Aye, he's a right haughty bastard. On the other hand, he can be negotiated with.
If you can get to him.
So it's peaceful here. Is that all?
Aye. Except there's more trade right now because of the wedding.
But we'll be back to our old ways in a month from now, thank God.
I've got to be going.
Wait, there's something else I want to ask. What's your story? Are you students? Apprentices?
You ain't, are you? You look too scruffy.
We're messengers who were supposed to deliver a letter to Sir Otto von Berghoff. We set up camp down by the pond, and in the evening we were attacked by bandits. They slaughtered our men. It was only through luck that we saved our skins. We lost everything, even the letter. So they wouldn't let us into the castle.
Can't say I'm surprised. I'd send you packing myself. But it's true, there's bandits marauding in these parts. They're getting bolder and bolder. Even attacked a patrol from the castle recently.
Aye, these are evil times. Nothing ever happened like that in King Charles's day.
Farewell then, Henry.
Farewell.
They're not bad. They're not bad.
Taking their time again.
An ale, as usual.
I'm a good kid.
Blessings to you.
When she's upset.
Did you hear what happened at the big
First, I should settle the unfortunate business of our bill. Greetings. Are you the bailiff, son?
Hi, that's me. Who are you?
I'm Henry.
I'll probably forget after a few tankards anyway. What do you want? You don't think you're gonna wangle some coin out of me, do you?
No. I just have a couple of questions.
Ask away. I have plenty of time.
I heard your sister's getting married.
Indeed she is. It's going to be a grand affair. There are even guests coming from Gutenberg. Even Lord von Berghoff is coming. That's how important my family is.
Look, I need to pass on an important message to von Berghoff. But I can't get into the castle because of what happened to us. Do you think you could...
Invite you? Not a chance. I don't know you from Adam.
It would only be for a while.
Look, loads of lackeys like you will be needed at the wedding. Try asking for a job. I'm not saying you're sure to get to von Berghoff that way, but you can try.
You must know young Lord Semine, don't you?
Aye, he's a close friend. Although he's been acting a bit odd recently.
Odd?
Karen.
Odd how?
He spends more time in the woods than at home, always riding off somewhere and doesn't want to talk about it. Maybe he'll be his old self after the wedding.
What's going on here in the region apart from that?
Apart from the bandits, nothing much. Life's peaceful enough. The war has steered clear of us, thankfully. Lord von Berghoff is respected throughout the kingdom. But high politics is nothing for me. I don't stick my nose into it.
I already know how to get to the wedding. I spoke to the miller and the smith, and they both promised to get me in.
Oh, aye. The smith does business with old Semine, and nothing happens around these parts without Miller Krazel being involved. But watch out. If I see you're up to no good there, you'll get more than a slapped wrist. Got that?
Thanks. I have to be off.
Wait a moment. Since you're here, do you play dice? It occurred to me we could roll a few. What do you say?
Oh, I've got nothing to wager.
That's a shame. It's no fun if there's nothing at stake. You know what? If you beat me, we'll work something out with the wedding.
You'd invite us, you mean?
You'd have to beat me first. And that's not going to happen.
We'll see about that. Let's play.
You really are desperate to get to the wedding, huh?
No, I just want to gamble, play dice. hit the gamble spot. Oh god, okay. Hell dice for previous stars, scored points. Unscored points. If you have any dice inventory, you can choose to use them. For starting the game with dice with special properties that you can read about in the descriptions. Allow you to use special techniques and improve your luck. Start the game by rolling with 6 dice. Select the scoring die you want to keep. Put them on the side. Gain points for them at the end of your turn. Earn the risk of not rolling a single scoring die. The first player to reach the score goal is the victor. So 1 is 100. If you get 1, 2. Okay, so straight. Dice. And then there's triples and doubles.
Seriously curious about you, lad.
A tankard of ale, thanks.
I'll have a beer.
To your health, my...
Don't drag it out. I want to play too, you know.
I'll drink to that.
This makes sense. I can't score anything. So I can only hold if there is some.
Finished. Your turn. Why the long face?
Oh, I've just got this...
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 2, 3, scoring for me. Give me 1. Did just give me a 1.
If I was you, I'd take it. My God, I'm done.
Visible or something.
Have you lost your mind? You're gonna lose everything.
What's the hold up, innkeeper?
Let it be now. I want to play too, you know. And that's why it's better to play cautiously.
I don't.
God damn it! I give up.
Innkeeper, a beer!
Well, that's no great loss. You didn't have much anyway.
I bought a lovely new bow the other day. Great price.
Money, money.
That was a pretty poor show, fella.
What can you do? Dice is mainly about luck.
Bollocks it is. You need to use your head. Oh well. Maybe we'll have a rematch someday. When you get a hold of some groschen.
What about a rematch right now? With the same wager?
No chance. The offer doesn't stand anymore. You'll have to find a different way to get to the wedding.
And consolation at the moment. That churns up the black bile and makes you ill.
You idiot. You've been hanging around with Miller Clazen.
Or take her to the butcher.
Oof! That isn't half heavy. Oh.
Carry sex to the pantry.
Take my advice and go and pickle some cabbage, friend.
It's Work Simulator 2000.
I'm a bit peckish.
So, I went to see my brother. To talk about the inheritance.
But you're lazy in a bed. You're a lazy son.
But he drools all over himself. He gets this feeling that his time's nearly up. Threatening to leave everything to the church if I don't go and see.
Once old folks start getting soft in the head.
I'd rather die poor but young.
Listen to this.
Go. Do the work that's needed.
Is that supposed to be Latin?
Clever you. Do you know what it means?
No. And I doubt you do either.
The burden of proof.
Oh, no. Why? A lovely tree like that. It's a nice place to rest when you're...
Oh.
What did you say? Say it again.
It was their own fault.
What do you mean? They attacked themselves? What the fuck are you trying to say?
Everyone knows it's dangerous around Trotsky. Making camp in such an unprotected place is suicide.
Where else were they supposed to make camp, smart-ass?
Somewhere in the rocks, maybe. Not out in the open by the pond. Only a fool would do that.
Stop insulting our dead companions.
What dead companions? You think I'm gonna fall for that cock and bull story?
Pack it in, Henry. There's no point in arguing with this yokel. He fancies himself as a military strategist.
I don't believe a word you're saying. A weed like you surviving a fight against bandits even von Berghoff himself has trouble with?
Believe what you like, but I'm telling the truth. And in fact, I'm willing to overlook all your insults if you apologize right now. And invite me to that wedding.
Did you hear what that lying nobody wants?
I am Sir Hans Capon, Lord of Perkstein, and I demand your immediate apology.
I am Sir Hans Capon, Lord of Perkstein. Sir Hans Capon, Lord of Perkstein. You're starting to bore me. You and your silly made-up name.
No apology, then. It looks like I'm going to have to teach you a lesson.
Oh, I'm so scared.
That's enough. Cut it out, both of you.
Mind your own business. Take your ragamuffin friend and get the fuck out of our village.
I give you a chance to apologize, and you keep insulting me. Get ready to pick up your broken teeth with broken fingers.
Oh, I'd like to see that. Come on, then.
You scum!
Oh, snap.
What did you say? Say it again.
It was their own fault.
What do you mean? They attacked themselves? What the fuck are you trying to say?
Everyone knows it's dangerous around Trotsky. Making camp in such an unprotected place is suicide.
What?
Where else were they supposed to make camp, smartass?
Somewhere in the rocks, maybe. Not out in the open by the pond. Only a fool would do that.
What?
Stop insulting our dead companions.
What dead companions?
Pack it in.
I don't
Believe what you... And in fact, I
am... You're starting...
No
Oh.
That's enough.
Mind your own bit. Take your...
I give you a... Get ready to...
Oh.
You
What the hell is going on here? Grab them vagabonds!
I didn't even get to do anything.
Bastards! This will cost you dearly. Keep your mouth shut and don't make it worse. What? You behave like a spoilt brat. How dare you speak... You know, if you just shut up and done some work, we'd have coin by now and be on our way to the castle, but no, not his lordship.
You've got a nerve.
If you hadn't have played the hero, we'd have been there long since and I wouldn't have had to get you out of that mess. Oh yeah, because this isn't a mess, is it? Fuck off.
Shut up! You'll get a whipping too.
Just who the hell do you think you are?
I'm sorry, sir, but it's your fault what happened in the tavern.
What? My fault? You can't be serious. Whose fault is it that we're in this fucking pillory?
I was just defending you. Should I have let that fop beat you senseless?
I only wanted him to apologize. I'd expect my right-hand man to argue my case a bit better.
What do you think I was trying to do? You should have listened to me and calmed down.
And let him insult me. Fat chance. If it hadn't been for me, we wouldn't have even been in that tavern. We've been in the shit right from the start because you had to play at being the knight in shining underwear, saving damsels in distress.
I don't believe it. You're trying to put the blame on me? Just like that?
Who else is to blame? You're just a simple peasant who has no idea how the world works.
And you're a spoiled brat who can't even hear himself.
What the fuck did you say? I've had it up to here with you. With you and your pontificating. You were supposed to make sure nothing went wrong. And how did that turn out? It was me who had to save your life. You're fucking useless. You couldn't even keep an eye on your own mutt.
Oh, that's enough. This isn't getting us anywhere. I understand you're downcast after all that happened to us. And I understand you need to take it out on someone. I can take it. But we shouldn't forget we have a job to do. And do it we must. Together.
That's exactly what I'm doubting. Everything goes to shit when you're by my side.
You don't really mean that. Calm down.
I'm perfectly calm. That's it. My life went to shit from the first moment I met you. And I've only just realised it. You're like a ball and chain. And I'd have bagged that wild boar too if it weren't for you.
Well...
And none of the rest would have happened. I wouldn't have been showered in shit.
Oh, come on, Capon.
Don't you cape on me. Not another word. I have to consider what to do next.
Right, ladies. Time to go home. But I swear to Christ, if I catch you again, I'm gonna skin you both alive.
Isn't that...
Otto.
Hey! Bogo, Bogo!
Oh, shit. Right, where were we? Go on, get out of my sight.
What are we gonna do?
You can do as you like. You can go and carry sacks or dig latrines. I'll look after myself. I'll go and see Lord von Berghoff at the wedding. I bid you farewell.
If I were in your shoes, I'd be glad to be rid of the good for nothing, eh? Yeah. All right, off you go.
And that was just the beginning. Crime, everyone interaction is a consequence of crimes all around you. As people react to them, what is a crime? A thing an honest Christian should avoid is considered a crime. One must not kill, incense, steal, break into other people's homes, harm people or domestic animals, and disturb their peaceful lives. Report you to the guard. You're unsafe. If no one catches you. You can find your
I suppose I really do need to find some job. I'll find muck without you, you stuck-up Lord of Perkstein.
Henry? You're Henry, right? Or was it the other one? Hey, you! Hey, over here! Well, come on. I don't bite. Do you have anywhere to go? Somewhere to sleep?
What do you want from me?
I don't want anything from you. I should actually be thanking you.
Uh-huh. For what?
I've been begging for alms here for days, but I didn't make any real coin till today. And that's thanks to you. The scene you made maid brought out nearly all of Troskowitz.
You don't have to thank me. I could have done without it. And that fracas in front of the tavern as well.
Oh well, not many people can make such a strong first impression. But look on the bright side.
Hmm?
Now things can only get better.
Yes, you're probably right. It doesn't get much worse than that. Unless somebody tries to kill me. Again.
You're still alive in one piece. It's a new day and the sun is shining. Like Tomcat always says, bruises build character.
Do you know anything more about Tomcat?
They say he's a master swordsman, but a real joker too. He loves showing off to girls.
Do you think Tomcat might teach me a few of his tricks?
No offence, but compared to him, you're a bit of a lightweight.
I don't want to pull wagons, but if he can handle a weapon, I'd be happy to train a little with him.
Well, one of the guards tried to take him on and came back whipped like a dog, moaning like he'd been broken in two.
Well, sure. If he's that strong, I'm not surprised.
More like some trick he's got that our watch doesn't know. Or at least that's what the poor man said.
How does he show off for the girls?
With his muscles. He ricks logs with his hands. He even let himself be run over by a loaded hay wagon. Crazy. But to be fair to him, he sometimes helps people. Stanislav's sheep fell into a pit one time.
And Tomcat pulled it out?
And, not just that, he crawled down to get it. And when he found the poor thing had a broken leg, he carried it on his back all the way home.
Where might I run into Tomcat?
In the camp by the tower. That is, by Rock Tower Pond. He watches the camp for the nomads.
Should I watch out for them?
No, I don't think so. They mind their own business, but strangers usually mean trouble for them, so they're careful. Try not to stare too hard and hold your tongue, otherwise Tomcat will show you some of his other skills.
Hey, you. What's your name, anyway? What do you do?
I'm Bara. Just Bara.
Looks like you know your way around here pretty good. You're from here, right?
I ain't. I'm just passing through.
You're something like a wanderer?
Nah, I usually find work with someone, stay for a while, and once I save a bit, I move on.
Then why are you begging here?
Sometimes I collect herbs for the apothecary, or help in the tavern. But I'd like to go somewhere else, so I'm scraping up whatever I can. But on the whole, you could say I'm a traveller, or a nomad. But don't say it too loud, the locals don't take kindly to them.
Why?
Because they're different, and it scares people. They travel from place to place and take their home with them.
I'd like to see what their homes look like.
You can go and see them, just don't stare too long.
Where are you headed, if you're only passing through here?
For work, to the city. I'm tired of serving landholders. They all promise the moon, but then you're eating stale bread, cold porridge, and a nary a groschen in sight. With the city folk, it's bound to be better.
You said you were going to a city. You mean like to Prague? Or somewhere further?
I'd like to go to Prague, but I don't know anybody there. In Kuttenberg, at least I have a cousin.
Aha. So you're going to visit her?
Well, she doesn't know it yet. But I won't be troubling her long, just until I find a way to make a living.
Why exactly are you helping me?
Why? Why? Because you look like you need it. I've been in the ship plenty of times, and I know how appreciated a helping hand is in times like that.
What do you want to do in the city?
I'll find something. I'm not afraid of work. I'm not half-witted. Maybe someone could use a cook, or a servant.
Don't get your hopes up. The city can be a pretty dangerous place for a girl on her own.
You mean they don't hand out groschen by the bucketful? And the streets aren't full of roasted stuffed geese? I appreciate your concern, but I have to get to the city first. That's going to take me a long while yet.
I'm practically naked. Nobody's going to want to even talk to me like this.
At least you're not walking around bare-assed. Although that might not be a sorry sight.
Ah, very funny. I'd rather you tell me where I might get some clothes.
And what do you have in mind? Brocade and satin? A monk's robe? Or perhaps Sir Brunswick's armour?
I'd prefer something a little more ordinary. I'd like to blend in with the locals and not attract attention.
After what you did here with that friend of yours, even the deaf and blind would immediately recognise you. But between the two of us, it's easy enough to scrounge up a shirt and trousers if you know where to look.
Thanks, but I'd rather get my clothes honestly. I just got out of the pillory. I don't want to end up there again.
Well, I'm not pushing you, just giving you a few useful tips. What you do with them is up to you.
My main concern is getting to that wedding in Semi. Do you know anything about that celebration?
Well, yeah. People are talking of nothing else. The Lord's son is getting married to the sister of that lout he was fighting with.
How much time do you think I have? Have the preparations already begun?
From what I hear, the bride's dress still ain't finished, and blacksmith Radovan still ain't started smithing the gift for the groom. So, no rush.
Hopefully by then I'll find a way to sneak in. Oh well, it was nice to meet you, but I should probably get going. Get a job, and so on.
Don't worry, you'll manage. Till we meet again.
Oh, that's not what I wanted.
What? Huh. Strange.
Welcome. You can buy everything you need from me, but excuse the selection. A few days ago, when I was returning with new goods, the horse got spooked and my wagon tipped into the pond. I salvaged some things, but the rest is now in the pond.
Were there any valuables in there?
You bet. Lord Simine ordered all sorts of delicacies and precious spices from me for the wedding feast. And for Taylor Bartishak, I was carrying expensive fabrics to make dresses for the occasion. If you only knew how much coin I spent on this.
And where did the wagon tip?
On the roads near the Katchak Pond, beyond Jelioff. You can still find it there. I can't tell you how much it still pisses me off. But what can I do?
Sorry to hear that.
Me too. But what can I do? So, what will it be?
What do you have for sale? I'd like to discuss the price.
Gut, versuchen wir's.
That, and a little tip.
Wunderbar. Dankeschön. Das war ein gutes Geschäft. Auf Wiedersehen.
Very nice, very nice. Now I need to wear that. I sure have that. That's good stuff. Now go towards green egg.
Don't cause any trouble. Got it?
Hello, sheep. My goodness. Survival. Survival 600 points. Oh yeah. Poacher's Tail. You can sell herbs, game hides, and trophies for double the price while your beds increase food value. Let's learn on the Poacher's Tail. It's a good one. dangerous or anything?
Ow! Are you looking for a fight?
God be with you. You must be parched. What say you have a drink with us?
Nice people. But there's nothing I want to do. Come on. Run faster. Pussy baby.
A nice place. Too bad I never learned to fish. I can't swim.
What?
What the fuck is this supposed to mean?
Hey, lad. What do you want? Come here. Are you... Good to see you, lad.
Really? It seems to me I'm in your way.
Ha! Not at all. That poor fella didn't have anything interesting on him. But you might.
I'm almost as poor as that dead man there. I was just robbed of everything I had.
Well, that's some bad luck. Losing everything twice in a row like that. So, what'll it be?
Why do you think that poor wretch is lying there? He was a friend. They robbed us both, but I managed to save myself.
Really? It just so happens I know him. He was a local, unlike you. So I reckon you're lying.
We didn't know each other very long. But with God as my witness, I'm telling the truth.
Enough! Either you hand your things over to me, or I'll take them myself. You're in for an ass-kicking, you piece of shit! Fucking hell! You want to try me? Useless!
All the way over here?
Keep the peace, and we won't have any problems.
Yep.
What's new in the county, Master Bailiff?
I heard something's going on in Takoff again. Project the Innkeeper is probably coming up with some mischief to pull on the Gelievites. Will they never cut it out? Their bickering is making work for me. And now I've been visited by one of the local peasants. He said he found more fresh graves behind his field, just below the village, along the road to Nabokov.
What do you mean, more? You sound like this isn't the first time.
That we found someone buried here? Don't even ask. I've been digging up bodies ever since that bandit gang started running rampant. Most of them are von Burgo's men. Also, if it wasn't bad enough that gang of bandits is rampaging through the region, now someone's stealing cabbage from the peasants. What a disaster.
Cabbage?
Aye, and the peasants won't stop bugging me about it. I was just visited by a peasant from Jadar. He's been talking my ears off for God knows how long. Say, do I really have to do this? Do I have the time to look for some moron stealing cabbages? And that's about it.
That sounds interesting. Thank you.
welcome. A few days. I said.
Were there any...
You bet. And for if you...
And where did...
On the road. I can't... Me too.
I wanted to ask you, what's on the other side of that nearest hill? I'm not from here, and I'd like to get my bearings. You look like a merchant to me, so you probably know best.
Ja, natürlich, you're not from here. Everyone around here knows that, after what happened in Betty's Tavern. Aber das ist deine Sache. That is your business, lad. Also, what do you want to know?
Where can I find a church round here? I'm surprised you don't even have a small chapel in the village.
If you want. Die Rettung deiner Seele, junger Mann. You have to go through the forest to Aujetz and to St. Katharinen. Herr von Berger does have a chapel in his castle, but it's not for commoners like you. We do not go there either. Und warum auch? The gravedigger Ignatius takes care of burials outside the village, and weddings usually take place without a local priest. No one wants to pay the church more than they have to. Das ist ja wohl klar.
Can I find other merchants around here?
Zum Glück nicht, junger Mann. I'm the only merchant here around Trusky. Oh, natürlich. There are plenty of tradesmen here who sell their goods. There is Bartosz, the tailor. He lives at the other end of the village. The apothecary, Emmerich, lives across from me. They are hand in glove, or more like hat in hat.
What do you mean by that?
Nichts weiter. Just that they play at being educated men. Along with the scribe Geibel, they are always studying some Latin tracts. But of the three, perhaps only Geibel knows Latin, if he really does at all.
Is there anyone else here?
Oh, yeah. Beyond the tailor's house on the edge of the village is where Bashka the butcher lives. Opposite the Rathaus is the carpenter. The rest of the villagers are just peasants, and you are already familiar with the tavern.
Is there anything I should avoid around here?
Certainly. Stirring up trouble and sticking your nose into other people's business. Here in the village, we don't care much for outsiders. If any do come, they better behave.
I understand that, but we were ambushed by bandits. So I wanted to ask if you know anything about that.
Ach so, ich verstehe. The woods have been full of all manner of rebel recently. That is all because of the war. Verdammte Schurken.
So you've already heard about these bandits?
About those ones in particular, or about others. They are all just gleichen Scheißkerle. Every time I go to the town, the bailiff must send an armed escort with me. It makes life difficult.
So the roads aren't safe?
Ja, das kann man wohl sagen. Herr von Bergo should do something about it at last. But Herr Otto spends more time in Prague than here, and Chamberlain Ulrich... Ach, lassen wir das.
Where do you go for wares? What's the closest town?
The closest is Sobotka, the biggest Gichin, what you call Gichin. And farther north there is Turnov. Half of that one belongs to Herr von Bergo.
Is it far?
Das kommt darauf an. It takes all day on foot. Wenn du was brauchst, the goods I have here will have to do you. I do not think you will get to the town anytime soon. Bis bald, mein Freund.
Who is it? Were you trying to scare me? I hope nothing's missing.
Praise God.
Was willst du, du Schuft? Sprich oder geh.
I'll have a look at the wares. I'd like to discuss the price.
Warum nicht?
How's this?
We're nearly there. Just lower your price a bit more. Aye, you convince me with that price. Es war ein gutes Geschäft. Auf Wiedersehen.
Are you blind?
God bless you.
Dum-dum. Looks like something will be there. I can see. Isn't it different? Let's have a go style. Like a loot sack. For the woods. Grandmother's house. Like my pretty flower.
Ha! Here's another one. Rich pickings today.
Please let me go. I'll give you everything I have. All of it.
Don't do that. Those ones. That's scary. No. Made it. Nice one. Here's the blacksmith. I discovered Petra.
You're up early. What'll it be?
I'm here then. You said in the alehouse that you could do with a helping hand at the forge, didn't you?
I could. My last two hands, well, they're not worth mentioning. And what with the wedding coming up, the work is piling up. Ah, what's your name? Henry?
That's right.
You should know, Henry. The blacksmithing isn't for everyone. Have you done it before?
Yeah. I basically grew up in the forge. My father was a swordsmith, and not just any. He even forged swords for the nobility.
For the nobility, eh? Well, that kind of experience will come in very handy for me indeed. As it happens, I have to forge a wedding present for young Lord Semine. A fine sword.
So you'll take me on?
Hold your horses. I'll have to try you out first. You could forge me a hunting sword as a test, so I can see if you can make a straight blade. That shouldn't give you much trouble if your father was a swordsmith, should it?
Sure thing. I can get started right away.
Great. Find some iron and get started then.
Iron?
You can't make a sword out of butter, but if you don't have your own stuff, you can get everything from the chest in my forge. Excuse me? Go over to the anvil and let's get started.
What are you doing here?
Oh, just right here. So that's double.
Get to it. I want to see how you'll fare.
I gotta make.
Furnace is cold now. Give it a practice try. Some things, like swords, are too long to fit in the fire. You have to heat it up bit by bit and try poking it around for a bit. Now get the furnace nice and hot. There's a lever above you. Give it a pull. It works the bellows. Take it out from time to time and take a look. Try it out. See? That's exactly the straw color we want. Got talent, lad. Now heat up the whole thing. The whole thing is heated up now, so come over to the anvil. Try moving the sword along the anvil so you can get the hang of it. Now take the hammer and try hitting it a few times. See the sparks? That's the sign of a good strike. The more sparks, the better. Also, you can hammer with different degrees of power. A stronger hit will do more, but it'll tire you out faster. Try giving it a few blows, as hard as you can, so I can see how strong you are. That's got a nice ring to it. Of course, if it was all about hitting an anvil with a hammer, any dolt could do it. You've got to hammer the workpiece evenly. One hit next to the other. Very nice. You're doing just fine. When I say evenly, I mean it. A sword has two sides, like a lot of other things, including myself. Turn it over and continue on the other side. Nice. Now try forging it on both sides. The closer it is to being finished, the more it will take on the shape you want. It'll cool off soon anyway. cooled now. You can't do it all in one go. You've got to put it back in the furnace from time to time. Sometimes you've got to go there and back all day. But it's all part of the craft. Now, get back to the forge and heat it all up again, like before. Get a move on. I'd like to get some other things done today. The whole thing is heated up now, so come over to the anvil. Hear that? Besides the sparks, you can tell a good strike by the sound it makes. The sparks are flying nicely. See how it's taking on the right shape? That's how you can tell it's almost finished. Now, I've got a piece of advice for you. Hammer to a rhythm. When I hammer a piece to a beat, the work goes by easier. Sometimes I'll whistle to myself to keep the rhythm going. That's some nice whistling. It's easier to forge to a rhythm, isn't it? The sparks. That's the stuff. There you go. You've got it finished. All that's left is to temper it. And the sword will be done. The rest is just tweaking.
Smithing. Hunting sword. Quality 3.
Right. Let's have a look. Very nice work. Your father taught you the trade well.
He'd certainly be happy to hear that.
If you carry on hammering as well as you did today, you've definitely got a job here. Even so, keep in mind, it's all about making sure every strike does its job. That's why you can't let it get cold, or keep striking the same spot. If you work evenly, each strike falling right next to the last one, you can't go wrong. Got that? Or is there something else you want to ask about?
What good does it do me to whistle while I work?
It makes you work to a rhythm. You won't get tired so quickly, and the iron feels it.
How do I know a good strike from a bad one?
By the sparks that fly up. And by the ring. It rings out with a different sound when you do it right.
What's the right way to heat up the workpiece?
Do it till it turns the color of straw. Ideally, the color should be the same everywhere, if your forging's going to be even. The main thing is, don't work it cold. You just ruin it. But don't overheat it either. As soon as sparks start to fly off it in the furnace, take it out.
Why should I forge evenly?
If you keep hammering the same spot, you'll never finish it. You'll just fuck it up. But jumping from one end to the other ain't a good idea neither. You'd end up working unevenly. The best thing to do is aim each strike next to the one before.
How will I know it's finished?
Notice the shape. The closer you are to finishing, the more precise the shape it will have.
Thanks. That's all I need to know.
You can sleep in the chamber by the woodshed. And there's a chest where you can keep your things. And of course, you can use the forge anytime you want. Any questions?
Where can I get materials?
You can buy some essentials from me. But if you want to make a fancy sword with lots of ornamentation, you'll have to look elsewhere. This is just a village, you know. The locals ain't after luxury. They can't afford it neither.
What can I do with the items I've forged?
Well, you can sell them. Though you probably won't have much luck around here. but I'll happily buy some of the nicer things from you.
Where exactly is my bed?
At the side of the house. There are 2 doors and a wheelbarrow between them. You go in by the rear door, next to the woodshed, and you can put your things in the chest there. Don't worry, nobody'll steal them.
What now?
What do you think? You're not going to be idle. I'll find you some work to do right away. You're pretty good at swords, but what the locals really need is axes and horseshoes. Right. Here are some simple drawings that show what they're both supposed to look like. And some iron. You can get down to it right away.
Just like that? You aren't going to help me?
Sacre, lad. I chose you because you already know a thing or two. I'm not going to look over your shoulder all bloody day. You take care of these smaller jobs. Forge away as long as you're able, and then sell it all. Once you've made some coin and feel like being out in the open again, I'll give you some more interesting work.
You got your own bed. Way better than so.
How can I help you today, friend?
Show me your wares.
Oh, wow. That's some good stuff. Take
Pleasure doing business. Take care. Fucking shavings. What are you here for, friend? It's about those 2 idiot hands of mine, Venser and Franzi. They drove off with a cart full of goods towards Semin, and they never came back.
Do you want me to find them?
Just so. But more importantly, I want to know where my cart ended up, and especially the cargo. Go to Semin and find out what the bloody hell happened.
Have you any idea which way they might have gone? I could have a look along the way. Maybe their cart broke down or something.
There's only one road to Semin that can take a cart. It leads from Takov to Troskovitz, and then to the south. But I've got a bad feeling they got up to no good in Semin.
Those 2 hands of yours, Venser and Franzi, what can you tell me about them?
Can't tell you much. They're wandering laborers. I don't think they wanted to stay here with me for long, but these days I can use all the help I can get.
Were they suspicious in any way?
No, they worked hard. They ain't no slackers. And I can't say that about everyone.
What was the cart carrying?
Bugger and bollocks. All sorts of stuff. I'd say Lord Samin wants to rearm his garrison with new equipment. There were some hunting swords, bastard swords, crossbow bolts. I also fixed the trigger on young Samin's crossbow, and some kitchen stuff. Sacks of charcoal, all sorts of things. There's a good month's work in that cartload.
All right. I'll get right on it then.
Go ahead. And if you find that pair of fools drunk, kick their asses for me.
Gladly. I'll kick some sobriety into them.
Excuse me?
I want to make the work axe.
This is useless. I should move it. I should move it.
Excuse me. I need to.
I'll never finish it like this. I should move it. I've almost got it done.
I'm sorry.
Work axe quality 3. Nice. Nice. Pretty good. Pretty good. Start. I don't think anyone wants to. that's it for now because I have a work thing to get to. So we'll see you guys.